Thanks for jumping on, Katie. Just for those people that are watching or listening, would you mind giving a brief overview of your business, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So my business is called Young Dragonslayers, and the short answer would be that we play D&D online with children on the internet. But I would say the slightly longer answer is we are using D&D as a tool to help kids and teenagers connect with each other, make friends in a safe, supportive environment on the internet, and practice social emotional learning skills in a way that does not feel like an after school special or like a therapy session. So our ultimate hope is that kids are making genuine friendships in these groups and then maybe learning a hobby and a skill set that they can take
Yeah.
back with them into the real world.
Before you were working with us, what was the main problem that you were facing tackling this world?
Yeah, like you said, I think I accidentally discovered that there was far more demand for this kind of service than I had initially assumed. This was a side business labor of love that grew out of my primary career where I'm a children's therapist. And so I kind of hung out my shingle, not expecting a whole lot, and got a lot of interest that I had not anticipated, and eventually got
Yeah.
to the point where, you know what, we need a real website, we need a real marketing strategy, we need a real infrastructure to support this growing business. And in some ways, the demand is high. And in other ways, I think the search volume for some of these terms is relatively small and relatively niche. So it's been
Yeah.
hard for me to figure out what exactly to target. Like we've hit a level of growth that I'm ready to now scale past. And what served me well in getting to this level, I don't think is serving me well in pushing past that to scale, if that makes
Yeah,
any sense.
yeah. Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you essentially wanted to, you got to a point and you needed an external expert to be like, how do we break
Yes.
through to
Yeah.
that next bit?
Yeah, the first bump came pretty easily of like, oh my gosh, there's actually a demand for this. But then figuring out, well, how do we cast a wider net? How do we bring more people in that
Yeah,
aren't maybe directly searching for this
yeah.
was harder.
And when you came across our service, what made it stand out to you?
I'm sure you've heard this before, but for one thing, just the specificity of an SEO expert who works with Squarespace websites. I
Yeah,
am like a longtime Squarespace stan. I built my whole private practice on a Squarespace website. It has served me very well. And I think for a long time, Squarespace was kind of poo-pooed in like the SEO community as
yeah,
being,
yeah,
not as good as WordPress, but also I can't update a WordPress site, so it's never going to work for me. I have no technical skill. I can't code. So seeing somebody who really understood and embraced that platform was really good. And then also, I had used the plugin for a while. And so I felt like I kind of understood a little bit of what the strategy was going to be. And sometimes when I am like talking to SEO people, it feels very mysterious what's going to happen.
yes,
Like we're going to do
yeah,
something to your site that will be good. But I felt like I had a little bit of an idea of how you all were going to work.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And that's what a lot of SEO experts will tell you to move away from Squarespace,
Yeah.
which is the last thing you want to hear when you love the platform. So, yeah, we make the most out of that and turn it
Yeah.
into an opportunity for you. So, what's made you happiest about working with us? Because we worked together on one time project,
Yeah.
fundamental service. What made you happiest about that?
For me, I have dabbled in SEO for a long time. I've consumed a lot of SEO content. I've like listened to the podcasts, and I really, really struggle with figuring out how to kind of triage and prioritize what needs to be
Yes.
done. If you like are listening to podcasts every week, there's like something you could be doing about
Yeah.
SEO, and I either get very excited about it or then super anxious, like, how will I ever get all of this done? And so for one, just passing off some of the heavy lifting and just having somebody else do what they felt was best was a relief. But then getting that hit list at the end of the project of like, you sent a very, very detailed, like, multi-page document that was extremely specific, both about how to achieve the next SEO steps and then also like kind of what to tackle. So I think getting that detailed document and then being able to speak with you about it and say like, here is kind of your game plan for the next 6 months or the next year
Yeah.
was really useful.
I was actually just about to explain the fundamental service, but I
Yeah.
guess how would you explain it to someone that's watching?
Yeah, so honestly, I had expected it to feel more like a short-term project. And to me, even though it was really only a 3 or 4 day process of working together, it kind of feels like I'm in a program now for
Yeah.
a little while. So I, booked this kind of, I think you call it like a 3-day sprint.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that right?
Exactly.
So I connected with one of your SEO specialists. We spoke about my goals. She went off overnight, presented me with a list of keywords that she was suggesting we target for various pages of the site.
Yeah.
I okayed that, and then a lot of work got done on the most potentially impactful pages of my site in a very short period of time. And then after that, I was presented with a report on exactly what was done on every single page, like
Yeah.
what exactly was changed and, improved. And then also kind of an analysis of where the gaps were in my current SEO strategy and what specifically I could be doing to improve that.
Yeah, because especially a lot of SEO services are ongoing, like you've got to
Yeah.
pay every month, and that's fantastic
Yeah.
for some businesses, but for other businesses who want to get stuck in themselves or haven't necessarily got that long-term budget, that's where the fundamental service comes in.
I think that's something else that probably drew me to you all was that I haven't seen a lot of like services that are kind of in that in between stage of growth where what I don't need is somebody to teach me the basics of SEO. Like I've got that covered, but I'm also not at a place where I have the like cash flow to hire somebody to be
Yes.
doing SEO every single month. So I'm kind of in this between stage where I can't do it all alone. I don't really need to teach myself the basics. I just need somebody to kickstart it and then say, here is your job. Like these
Yeah.
are the things that you need to do.
If someone was on the fence, they've watched this,
Yeah.
they're interested in the service, what would you say to them?
I have dabbled now with multiple SEO agencies and SEO
Yeah.
experts. And what I really appreciated about this process was the specificity of it, that it wasn't even just our recommendation is to add video to your site or our recommendation is to blog more, but you all gave me a table of here are 15 blogs you could write for your site. Here is the title of that blog. Here's what
Yeah.
you could include inside. Here's the URL slug to put on it in a table. I copied and pasted that. I shared it with my blogger. And so she now has her assignment for the next 6 months. Like
Yeah.
it really took out the mental load for me as a founder of having to figure out, as I'm starting to delegate my work, what to do. Whereas sometimes it feels like I'm given a big picture idea by SEO folks, but not so much how to like implement it on a day-to-day basis. So if you're somebody who's craving
Yeah.
that, I think this is a really good
it's
option.
it's genuinely built to some people do hire us after the fundamentals that do it
Yeah.
ongoing, but isn't built for that. It's genuinely built to provide a ton of value. And even though it is over a few days, we can get a lot done because all we do is
Yeah.
Squarespace SEO. Yeah, thanks a lot for jumping on, Katie.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was great working together.
Yeah. Thank you so much.